All right, what is going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode, a weekly episode of Let's Chat. I hope you guys are doing very well. And let me just get my chat open and we can start. I was about to start to record a commentary about Philip Mucin and journalism and how I feel about the plagiarizing and all that. But I figured I'm just going to go live. Screw it. I don't feel like editing. It's 2018. Why are we still editing? But yeah, I hope you guys are doing very good. Let's see. Where am I? Spider, what's up? All right, I got the chat. Got the chat open. So yeah, I'm sure you already know the plagiarizing story. But what it's become is just kind of crazy. Like, it doesn't seem to end. When it comes to Philip Mucin, I mean, everything from ripping off people at IGN to actually plagiarizing his LinkedIn profile. I don't think this guy has, he just won't stop. It's pretty incredible at this point. Hardhead, what's good? I know Hardhead probably agrees with me, like, man, this guy, he just doesn't know where to stop when he's getting exposed. He just keeps going on and on. So yeah, I was gonna do a video about it, just how I kind of feel about it as far as being like an aspiring journalist and somebody who makes content, somebody who is on a podcast, who's very small in this world, but just trying to understand why someone would go this far is beyond me. And I've said this before. I think I said it on Press Start as well, to go to these lengths to basically be somebody else. Forget video games. I mean, we're talking somebody who is straight up someone without an identity at this point. Like, I've seen people making jokes like they wouldn't be surprised if this guy wasn't even named Philip Mucin at this point. Like, he probably stole that name. That's how far it's gone, So to me, it's just wild. This is crazy. Chrono, what's up? Banghouse, what's going on? Moon, long time no see. Lunker, I almost called you Lurker. What's up, Lunker? His real name probably Paul. Exactly, Hearted. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the joke right now. It's like, man, what is even real about this guy? But since it is video games and this is our community, this is something we're all so passionate for, I think it affects us in a certain way. And I don't really understand how people can say, who cares? Or this isn't a big deal. I've actually seen that a lot. And I really don't see how you can't care. As a gamer, I really don't see how this doesn't make you feel some certain type of way. You know what I mean? Alice Action, what's up? Based Trigger, what's up? I feel like you're Tony. Didn't Tony make a new name or something? Every time I see a Bart Simpson, I feel like that's his profile picture or something. But shout out to Tony. So yeah, I just want to kind of get your guys' thoughts on how much this story has progressed. Like, it's just crazy at this point. I've been keeping up with like the IGN employees. I've been seeing them being retweeted, or I follow them, especially like ex-employees like Colin Moriarty. I watched his video on it. Perfect video. If you guys like Colin, I mean, go watch the video if you haven't seen it yet. He talked about this whole thing and he summed it up perfectly. And being somebody who did work at IGN, I take his opinion seriously on it. I feel like, man, there's actually more to this that we don't even think about at times. Like, we think about it in a way of like, okay, this guy got exposed, good on everyone, but okay, let's move on. But really, these IGN employees, some of them can't right now because they're in the heat of it, especially the ones that work there. They're having to go through with a fine comb and just look through everything. I think, what's his name? Dan Stapleton. He's like the senior editor or something over there. He basically said, we're deleting everything, like, because it's got to that point where it's like everything has been plagiarized and they can't even risk it anymore. And it's like, damn, that's insane. And as a site, that's a lot of work because you're having to go in there either to change it or you're deleting it, or you're having to rewrite it, because you can't just take away a whole review. I mean, it's got to be there in the archives. It's got to be there. You're IGN. So maybe they're having to actually rewrite these reviews. I mean, behind the scenes, like there's probably just so much going on that we don't even think about, you know? Majestic, what's up? Ryan, what's good? He says, I don't like Colin's political, social views, but I mean, I understand that. Like a lot of people feel that way about Colin, but his video, you know, because it's specifically about this, it's very, very good. So check it out. Jason exposed that man. Jason Schreier, he's another one. Some people really don't like Jason, I've noticed, because of other reasons. But Jason gets down. He's one of the best. Like he really, I mean, he's the last person you want to challenge. He really is. Like that was the biggest mistake. Well, one of the biggest mistakes that Philip made, because he pretty much tried to play the victim in his response video, which was the worst video ever. He took it down, but it was just terrible. He didn't even apologize really or anything. And he tried to play the victim. He tried to say, oh, Jason Schreier, you know, he's coming after me. He's trying to prove I was plagiarizing other things. Well, Jason, you can go ahead and keep trying, keep finding stuff. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but that's pretty much what he said. So you challenged the wrong dude, Philip. Like that was the wrong person you want to challenge. So, I mean, no matter how you guys feel about Jason or whatever, you can't knock that man. He really knows how to investigate. He knows how to get things done. And not only that, but the community reached out to him as well. So not only was he doing his research, Jason, but he also had people DMing him and emailing him other evidence. So it's like a whole community effort. We can't just give Jason all the credit, because like the community came up too, and they were giving more evidence. I just saw one right now of him plagiarizing a Fire Emblem preview. A preview! Like that's not even a review, guys. Like this guy plagiarized everything. Like he legit had no opinions of his own. And that to me is the craziest thing about this. Like I can't seem to wrap my head around it. I really can't. Because as a gamer, somebody who's passionate about games and somebody who wants to share what I think, to not do that and to steal someone else's thoughts is just crazy to me. I can't understand it. I really can't. Budo, what's up? Mech, what's going on, Mech? You playing Death's Gambit right now? I was about to hop on, but I was like, no, let me go live real quick. But I'm probably going to play after this. So excited. What's up? MJ says, good luck getting big time sites to trust smaller channels for outsourced work. An impact that will ripple through the community for quite some time. Thank you, MJ, for bringing that up. That's another thing. And that's something I think some don't get, is that this is going to maybe hurt the little guys. People like you and me, people who maybe get an opportunity. Maybe we meet somebody at what am I trying to say? Not a conference, convention. And they find out, oh, you're a writer. Hey, maybe you should apply to this, or maybe you should apply to that. And then you don't get the job because maybe they don't trust smaller YouTubers anymore. Maybe the review process of your work is going to be longer. Maybe it's going to be harder to get hired now. That's a big deal. That's a big thing. Hey, Erica, can I get your opinion on a tweet before you end the stream? I think I saw your poll. Is that the one? I did answer no on it. So if that's what it is, let me know. But that's a huge deal, MJ. I was going to bring that up, but thank you for reminding me. And I think that's just something that people don't understand, because they're saying, why are we still kicking this guy when he's down? Like there's people who actually say that. They're like, why are we still going after this guy? Like it's become a witch hunt, which I do understand where you're coming from, because I don't condone that. I don't condone people going after people's personal lives, but your professional life where you've impacted the industry this badly, I don't feel bad for him. I really don't. LeBron, what's good? Royd, what's going on? Of all things to plagiarize a review, that's crazy. Shoot, I'm tripping out on the preview. Previews, LinkedIn accounts, There's been other things where it's like, why would you plagiarize that? Like, that's something that's personal. That's something that is not even that serious. Like a preview, it's almost like a first, well, not first impressions, but it's like you're previewing the game that's going to come. It's like, it's not a review. It's not all said and done. It's not like your final thoughts. It's like what you think about the game going into it, what you're excited about, what you're skeptical about, maybe things like that. That's a very kind of personal thing if you think about it, especially if it's on your YouTube or something like that. And so to plagiarize a preview, that's crazy. I don't understand that. And reviews as well, of course, because a review is ultimately what you thought about the game. That's it. It can be hard. Trust me, it can be, especially if you're writing it. You want it to sound perfect. You want it to have good grammar. You want to edit it enough and all of that. It can be work, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's just your opinion. And you're just trying to make it presentable. You're trying to make it look good and sound good and reflect exactly what you want to say. So yeah, editing and all that takes time, but man, to not even trust your own opinion or not to trust your own feelings about a game is just beyond me. I'll never understand that. Random guy, what's going on? Overdone says it's not the end of the world. Some just want to jump on the trend and hate. See, Overdone, that's what I'm talking about. That opinion right there, I don't really get it. Okay, you have your right to it, and I could see where you're coming from if you're thinking he's being harassed. I don't condone that. But when it comes to pointing out that he really messed up, I don't see why we should feel bad about that. Like, I don't see why you're calling it a trend, because we're passionate about games, Overdone. Like me, myself personally, I'm passionate about this stuff. I mean, I'm sure you guys can tell. I'm on a podcast. I love talking about games. I like making videos about games and sharing my opinion. So my whole thing is like, I'm not trying to just pile on with hate. I'm piling on with confusion. I'm confused by this. Like, this is crazy. Jack, what's up? Like, Jack, can you imagine playing a game and then reviewing it, telling your subs like what you think about it, and using someone else's thoughts? That's insane. That's insane to me. Or us being on Press Start and we're copying some other podcast's opinions. That's just, wow. I don't know. So Overdone, not to pick on you or anything, but I can't agree with that. I can't agree with just saying we're piling or we're joining the trend. There's no trend here. This is genuine confusion. It's genuine disappointment. And we're looking out for the community. We're looking out for our gamers. We're looking at it from the perspective of a gamer. You know what I mean? Jack says Philip needs to be ashamed. Yeah, I just saw that video. I think you liked it. The one about the Fire Emblem preview. A preview? He copied a preview. That's like crazy. Overdone says you can't fix everything bad. Yeah, we definitely can't. But I think this situation, how big it's become, can definitely open the eyes of these websites. It opens the eyes of the gamers, and we can try and avoid this in the future. Like, I've seen IGN employees tweet that this is the most outrageous thing they've ever experienced there. It's like the biggest letdown they've ever had as a site, that they're trying to clean up this mess. And I know people like to pick on IGN. They try and blame them and all of that, but there's legit, genuine people there who are just trying to do their job, and they're having to clean up the mess. They're having to take on this criticism as a site. So it's kind of crazy, like, if you think about it. He opened IGN up for lawsuits. Yeah, that's true too. Like, every time I see a video about someone else being plagiarized or something, there's always comments like, you should sue them. You can definitely sue them. Like, they're motivating the person that was plagiarized. They're motivating them to sue. So imagine being IGN and you're having that thought come across your mind, like, damn, we can get sued right now. Like, this, it's illegal. And yeah, Jack brings up a good point. He made money off of others' work. Whether it was YouTube views or IGN views, he got a paycheck. This man got paid for copying other people's work. That's something I didn't even really think about till right now, Jack. Like that's a huge thing. Can you imagine? This has been, man, talk about going down the rabbit hole. Like that we've just been going in spirals with this story. It's unbelievable. Very messed up. Yeah. Dude made a career from copying stuff from smaller channels and hoping no one would notice. Exactly, Royd. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, and I do say this as a joke, but I'm kind of serious. But I kind of wish I was plagiarized because I mean, you kind of blow up afterwards. Like, oh, I mean, look at Boomstick Gaming. The guy blew up, and that might be the best thing that's ever happened to him, you know. But at the same time, if you're not being compensated, you don't even get an apology. I mean, that's got to feel kind of dirty. But I'm sure he's fine. Boomstick Gaming's probably like okay right now. He's probably fine. Dangos, what's going on? Buro says, and the more people he stole from opens up more lawsuits. Yeah, it can get really ugly. It really can. I'm trying to imagine it like, and this is such a small scale, but if someone did something crazy like in Press Start. So if someone was a legit complete fraud or did something even worse, I don't know. I can't think of examples right now. But we're such a small podcast, but we'd still have to clean that up. We'd still have to work on changing our, you know, identity, or I can't think of the word right now, but we would have that criticism for a long time. We'd have the jokes for a long time. Imagine IGN, that scale of it. You're always going to have everything that's a joke. Every review that comes out, they're going to say, hey, is this plagiarized? Like there's going to be so many comments, so many trolls, so many people maybe not even watching the reviews anymore. But it's like a bigger scale of things. If, yeah, that would just be crazy. I was on a small site before with She Attack. And of course, we were so small. We weren't thinking like, oh, we need to check every little thing for plagiarism. Like it wasn't even at that point yet. But I'm trying to imagine being an editor. It would be almost impossible to know if someone stole from a video. Because if you've never seen that video before, you don't know what words, unless you Google every single word, even then, because it's a video. So there's no way it's not going to translate a video into text and then bring it up on a Google search. So that's why I always felt like, well, this isn't fully IGN's fault. It might be their fault for hiring him. Maybe they should have investigated his work more or something like that. But when it comes to his individual reviews and everything, if he's stealing from videos, that's really hard to find out or figure out. So I always felt like that I can't really blame IGN for this whole thing unless there was a transcript. Exactly, LeBron. Like there's no way. Bodo says this dude Philip spat in the faces of all his coworkers, friends, reviewers, and the people he stole from in that half-ass apology video. Perfectly said, Bodo. Perfectly said. At least I hope this wakes people up to not look at the big sites' reviews and perhaps make decisions of their own and do their own research. Yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from, Overdone. I've seen a lot of people with the same opinion, like, oh, we shouldn't watch IGN anyways, and you know, they're going to always be there. And some people really do watch reviews and they really base their purchases on reviews. It's just what they do. Some people do that. So these big sites, I mean, that's what they're, you know, that's what they're making money off of, and that's where they're getting the views from. Some people just want to see a score to be upset about it or be happy with it. Like I've even seen people saying, you know, not to give IGN any kind of, you know, sympathy or anything because, oh, they gave my favorite game a 7 out of 10. And it's like they never forgave them for that. That to me is silly. But yeah, I've seen that. I've seen people really coming at IGN just for like, oh, remember when they did this? Well, that's why I don't like them anymore. So I'm not going to sympathize with them. It's like, dude, get over it. Like, it's not even that serious. Like whatever they were complaining about or upset or grudging about, it was like some silly thing, like a review score. It's like, get over that already. There's people's lives. Like there's literal people's lives that are being affected. So there was even one girl, I think she doesn't work there anymore, but she was talking about how Philip used her. Like he literally used her for information for like their I think it was for the voice chat podcast, which is the Nintendo podcast. He like used her for that. And then when she left, he never talked to her again. He never texted her back. He wouldn't call her back. And she felt really hurt by him. I guess they were like friends or whatever. So there's like more going on. Like there's a lot of more personal things going on between them. So yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that side of things and kind of seeing it from like IGN's perspective. So I'm not like sitting here saying like, oh, they're poor guys. Oh, I feel so bad. But I kind of do. Like I kind of do. Because it seems like they're going through a lot more than what we really know on the surface. Super Metal, what's up? He said, I knew Philip, met him, talked in a DM. He gave me some really nice DM messages when I was down, so now I feel like I didn't know him at all, and it feels really awful. IGN probably feels the same. Yeah, that's a good example right there. Imagine knowing a guy and you guys work together. You think they're passionate about what you guys do. You go to conventions together. You go to, you do podcasts together. You do all these things together. You know the guy. You have lunch with the guy. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he dated somebody out there. Maybe he just knew all these people, and all of a sudden it's like, damn, he was a total fraud. This guy didn't even love what he was doing. He faked his way all the way up here when someone else could have had that position. Like he just took it all for granted. And he's probably losing all those friendships now. So there's like all kinds of stuff going on. So excited says Dreamcast guy is heartbroken. Yeah, I know they were friends too. Maybe that's what kind of started me down this trail of like looking into who he knew and how it's affecting them. Because I feel for them. If that was really their friend, if that was really somebody they trusted and went to and confided in and all of that. And maybe they helped him, like that one girl. Maybe they helped him look up stuff, not to plagiarize, but just looking up whatever, or helping him with his grammar, or helping him with anything, editing for him, or all of that, finding pictures for him. I mean, you help in so many different ways when you're on a website. Like you could maybe help with his structure of how he writes things or whatever. Imagine putting time into a person, helping them, trying to mentor them and bring them up in your industry and everything, and they just go and do that the whole time. That's got to feel like you're kind of backstabbed in a way, or like, I don't know if it was Alana. It was a girl though. It was some woman. I can't remember her name. Like I saw it. I'm not following them, and then I just sort of lost it. I think it was retweeted. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Kofi, what's good? Kofi, I was saying earlier, like imagine if one of us on the podcast like had this crazy drama surrounding them. Like that's such a small scale, but we'd have to do something about it. We'd have to recover in some way, right? But imagine on the scale of like IGN, it's deeper. Ultra, I seen you in here. What's up, Ultra? I see you on that Splatoon. This man Ultra is like a Splatoon god out here. Oh man, I think I said pretty much all I had to say. That I mostly wanted to talk about like how personally I would take this or handle this. Like if I was on their side, like I feel like this would be rough, and I sympathize with IGN a bit in a way. Flaffy, thank you so much. He says Nintendo dude's now looking spooky. Sorry, not sorry. What? The only Asian pony in these streets. All right, Flaffy. That's another thing too. Like, oh, is a Nintendo guy? Yeah, that makes sense. Like I've seen a lot of that. Nintendo guys don't play their games and all that. So there's a lot of that, makes them look bad. It'd be interesting if it was a PlayStation dude. I wonder how people would take it. But either way, I mean, it doesn't even matter. He could have been a Ouya freaking guy or a 3DS guy. Well, that's Nintendo, but whatever. Xbox, doesn't even matter. Could have been a PC guy. This guy was frauding the whole time. Doesn't even matter. I seriously, I know I keep repeating it, but I cannot wrap my head around using other people's opinions. I really can't. I have too much pride. I have too much like the want to share what I like and what I feel about certain games There's no way, like there's no possible way I would look to someone else's opinion to say, yeah, I like the game because da 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 da. Like, really? You can't even come up with the own things you like and dislike? That's insane to me. That is very insane. Jack, Wizard, what's up? Mohammed, what's good? Nintendo frauds? Oh man. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think even Colin said that too, Ultra. He's like, how doing reviews is the easiest thing. Like I was saying earlier, yeah, it could be hard maybe to edit your words. Maybe you're trying to, you know, fluff it a bit so you sound more intelligent, or you want to put it across a way that people can easily understand. There's a flow to when you write. Obviously, transitions are very important. I'm all about transitions, and those can be hard at times for certain people. Like I know people who struggle in like English classes because they can't write a paper properly. There's people like that. There really is. And it's not that it's bad. They just need to edit, and they have an editor for that. But coming up with your own ideas, that's not hard. That is not hard at all. It's comical even thinking that, you know what I mean? It's not even, that's not even a thought, to be honest. It's like, oh, how do I feel about this game? This is hard. I don't know if I like it or not. Let me check Google real quick. Like, what? What? That's, I don't know. That's really hard for me to understand. Gian, what's good? Get the frauds out of the community. Give them the human disqualification, Mex says. He was hyping it up and never played it, Des says. Can you imagine getting a birthday card from Philip? Message is automatically dismissed in case he copied it. Unforgiven. You're funny. Yeah, I mean, that's how I would feel. Like if I had a friend and this came out about them, and they were, and you know, they would text me a lot or email me. Maybe they were emailing me something, I don't know what, but I would start thinking like, man, is this even like your real words right now? I don't even know. A lot of people acting like he murdered somebody, though. It's not even serious. She'll see, Mega. This is the thing, all right? And I mentioned this already because someone else shared your opinion. Like, oh, this is not a big deal. Of course, we're not tossing and turning at night over this, Mega. I don't think any of us are, unless you work at IGN or you're his friend, okay? Us on the outside, yeah, we're not being kept up at night about this. Like, this isn't life or death, okay? We're just talking about it because this is the gaming community. We're gamers. Some of us are aspiring journalists. Some of us make content. This is an important thing. There's a lot to it. It's not just on the surface. You know what I mean? But yes, I guess you're saying, oh, you're on live talking about this. What's the big deal? I'm just talking about it. It's not life or death, though. Yeah, the apologists, man. They're out there. They're out there. And we don't have to agree, but it is what it is. I'm sticking up for the community. I'm sticking up for the little guys. And if they have a problem getting hired at these sites now because of this situation, that's a problem. That means, you know, it could hurt us in a way. But that's all I really wanted to say. Flip, a good boy. He didn't do nothing wrong. Alex. I always want to call him Flip too. I always want to call him that just because of how he spells it. Filip. Yeah, it's kind of a weird way to spell it, but I make the mistake too. Like, Flip, you done messed up. Yeah, Kofi, if you want, make a video because it's interesting hearing everyone's opinions, especially people who actually make content and share their opinion on a platform, whether it's small or big. Like, I like to hear everyone's opinions, and I'm sure we could all agree that it's crazy to us. It's hard for us to understand just stealing someone else's opinion on the littlest things. Like, we're not even talking like, you know, presenting something that's factually right, like something about maybe, you know, because I think he talked about the rumble in the Switch, and he was factually stating what it is. That it's like we can wrap our head around. But when it's something like, hey, this is how I feel about this game, and he steals that, I can't wrap my head around that. I don't think I ever can, especially multiple times. I could see if one time he was on a deadline, it was due the next day, he didn't finish the game, and he panicked. Okay, he could have explained that, and I wanted him to explain that in the response video, but he didn't. So I was disappointed with that. But it turns out he's done this so many times. How do you even explain that? So I don't think he could have explained that at all, because he's been frauding the whole time. So yeah, it's wild. It's wild, big time. I might just copy and paste this live stream. There you go, Kofi. There you go. That's how you do it, right? And I swear that's going to be the joke now, like for probably the rest of the year. This is by far the biggest story. It's blown up so much. I've seen it on Forbes, you guys. Like, this story is everywhere. It's became so big. And I think his response video made it so much worse. If he would have just said, "I'm sorry, I did it, and I'm done, like I'm never gonna do it again," or "I ask for your forgiveness," you know, something like that, cool, we would have moved on. I probably wouldn't even be talking about this right now. But because he challenged Jason Schreier, he challenged the community, he did not apologize, he was arrogant, and he just failed to see what he did. He just made it so much worse, because now they're bringing out all the skeletons in the closet, and he's done. Like, not just done, but he's done. Like, he's over. That's it. Press Erica and chill. Oh, that reminds me too. I'm probably not going to be on press start tomorrow. I'm just letting you guys know. Kofi, I don't know who you're going to get to replace me. And then that's going to be the joke. Like, "Oh, Erica, we replaced you." But I'm sure he's going to have some guests and stuff. It's Kenny's birthday tomorrow, like his exact birthday. And we didn't really have plans till the weekend, but I felt like, well, I want to spend time with him, of course. I'm going to take him to dinner. So yeah, I won't be there. I won't be there tomorrow. Kofi says docked. But yeah, I won't be there tomorrow. Get Philip, Mohammed says. Can you imagine if we were the only podcast to interview the guy? Oh, I wouldn't miss that well, I'd have to tell Kenny, look, it's just 2 hours. It's just 2 hours, Kenny. I'll take you to dinner after. I'm all yours after. Just give me these 2 hours. We're interviewing Philip, about to blow up right now. That would be crazy if we actually got to interview him. But that guy, speaking of that, he's like not answering any calls right now for interviews. Colin has hit him up, Jason Schreier. There's been other people, I think, just trying to get him to do an interview, and he's not answering. So he's done. Like I said, he's out. Get Char. He deleted his. Yeah, he deleted it. That's the reason why I didn't make a video. I was going to do a video right after the response video, but I was busy. I had to do it the next day. And by then, he deleted it. So I was like, I'll forget it. I'll just lay low, forget it, you know? But now it's just gone so far in this story. It's like, I might as well just talk about it. Kind of funny hit him up too. Yeah, so he is not trying to answer any questions. We ain't gonna get the answers. So, but really, I don't know what he could say at this point. I really don't know what he can say. If it was the one-time thing, maybe he'd have a story. But this is multiple stuff that he's been doing. How do you even come back? You should hit a boomstick, Kofi. I was going to tell you that. If you could get boomstick, oh man. I'm telling Kenny. I'm like, it's just 2 hours, Kenny. Let me do the podcast. But yeah, I would hit him up. If it's not even this week, maybe next week. You never know. He might be up for it. Never know if you don't try. I guess I can go ahead and touch on Death's Gambit. I know some people are probably not interested in that game, but some people are. Okay, I've been getting some nice comments. I had a guy just tell me, like, not even 5 minutes ago, that because I'm playing Death's Gambit, they're going to sub to me. Okay, some people like Death's Gambit, and they like these indie games and these Soulsborne games. So, first impressions, all right? I'm not going to give a review. I ain't going to steal no review or anything. And there's not even no reviews to steal. I don't know if you guys noticed, like, nobody's reviewing Death's Gambit, like, on a big level. I don't think they sent out any codes. Let me see, Metacritic. just to update myself. PlayStation 4 reviews. No critic reviews, 0, none. There's user scores though, of course, but yeah, they didn't send out any codes. Solidus, what's good? Need to see if my wallet will let me buy it. Mind you, that was okay. Crap, still. Oh, are we talking about that guy? I swear. 2018, we're still talking about that guy. Damn it, you guys, stop watching him. That man has how many subs because of hate? It's like, damn, he's bigger than us. The joke's on us, you guys. The joke is on us. Anyways, that's Gambit. 2D Soulsborne, all right? If you guys have played Salt and Sanctuary, it reminds me of that game. As soon as you start the game, you can see this on my channel. I streamed it the first couple hours. As soon as you start the game, you pick, much like Dark Souls, you pick like the soldier, or you pick an assassin, or I think it's Blood Knight is one of them, which is so Bloodborne because when you read the description, it focuses on dodging and like rewarding you for dodging. So that was kind of funny. It was like a nod to Bloodborne. So you can pick that. And there's other like mages and things like that. And then after that, you pick an item, which I think is called a soul. Mech, you're in here. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of this. But you create a soul, which is kind of like a boost to your character. So like much like Dark Souls, you know, sometimes you'd have a ring and it would be like for more vitality or something. Same thing in this game. So it's very Souls-ish as soon as you start. But the game itself, it's pretty difficult. There's been a couple bosses that I haven't beat yet. And the thing is too, you beat the first boss, right? Then you go into this area and there's like 3 bosses you can go to. One of them is a little easier, so I beat that one. But there's 2 others, like I don't even know how to approach them. I feel like I'm not ready. So it's kind of like this weird pacing issue I felt after the first boss, and I was actually kind of feeling a little disappointed. I was like, I don't know if I'm feeling this right now. But then once I got to the 3rd boss, it picked up a lot. So it's actually good, really good. Like I'm enjoying the game now. So if you guys are interested in Death's Gambit, if you're into Soulsborne, you've played games like Salt and Sanctuary, the 2D stuff, it's a lot of that. It's a lot of dodging through the enemy, rolling through the enemy. You can parry. You have other weapons that you have to level up for, which is very Soulsborne-ish. You got to have like your finesse up to like 7 to use specific weapons. You have to have your strength up, things like that. So it's very Souls-inspired, and I do recommend it. The bosses, though, and even some of the enemies, it's a learning curve. Just throwing it out there. Kid Smooth actually won this game for me, and I'm looking forward to him playing it. But I feel like it's going to be a learning curve for him. He's gonna have to buckle down and just get good. All right, he's gonna have to get good because I had to. A lot of us do. It's not an easy game. Okay, just letting you guys know. You guys brought up Ninja. That's another topic we can probably touch on. But there's not much to say. Ninja is in the right, okay? He said he doesn't stream with female gamers because it would cause drama. And he's such a big streamer that any kind of rumors could ruin his marriage. It really could. If you guys think about it, it can. So I don't blame him at all. I really don't blame him. I don't think it's sexist. I think it's silly if someone takes that from this situation and thinks he's sexist. It's like, really? I think you're 2 kinds of people. You either look at Ninja and say, you're a sexist, or you just actually use your brain and you're like, oh, okay, I understand. Because he's married. It'd be like, I mean, I guess it'd be hard for me because I'm a woman to never play with men. That's kind of hard because there's just this is such a male-dominated field. And hobby, as far as like the games I like, that would be very difficult. But for him, he's a male, he's married, and to say, well, I'd rather not play with females, not because I don't like them, not because I'm sexist, and not because I don't respect them, but it's because I respect my marriage. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I really don't. Sultan says marriage is a mistake. Damn, Sultan. Skilled says that's facts. Me personally, I don't care. I really don't either. Like, I read his statement. Of course, they put the headline, Ninja doesn't want to play with women, of course, but then you read it and you're like, you read the whole quote. You're like, oh, okay, it makes sense. He doesn't want the rumors. He doesn't want the gossip. And he was right. I think he mentioned like, oh, if I laugh at a girl's joke or she laughs at my joke, people are going to think we're flirting. They're going to think we're too close. They're going to think this and that. It makes sense. Like, I don't blame him. I really don't. Eric says, man, the ninja topic really blew up like crazy. Too many hurt people over this. I know, Eric. Like, this is really not a story, but it blew up. This is one of those things where it's like, we're just bored, I guess. And the journalist, like Kotaku, I think put up an article that was straight up, Ninja, this is why Ninja should play with women. I didn't even read it. I was like, really? You're really doing this, Kotaku? Like, this is a thing. Really? So, yeah, exactly, Ryan. He says, upset beta males and clout chasers, just upset for no reason. That's like me saying, I'm sure it's kind of hard for me to reverse it, like I said, because I'm a woman and there's so many men around me, you know, because like the podcast, I'm the only woman, right? In Press Start podcast. Whenever I play Gears, I'm typically the only woman. I try and get other women. I try and get Luca. Shout out to Luca ducking. She don't want to play no Gears with me. So I try. It's not like I'm exclusively only playing with men or something. It's just the games I play, sometimes it's hard to get a group of women. It really is. Like, who's going to play Gears with me? Which one of these girls is going to play Gears? Like, it's hard. It's rough. So it's hard for me to reverse it. Because I want to give an example like, oh, it's like me saying this, or it's like me doing this. But I can't really give that example because there's just men are just dominating the games. Like, the friends I know are mostly men on here. And they're mostly who I play with. And Kenny's fine with it, you know? But I could imagine, let's say we were bigger. All of us were bigger YouTubers and we were bigger channels and we had these huge audiences. Let's say I'm playing with you, Kofi, or I'm playing with whoever and you tease me, I tease you, or some kind of sexual thing comes up, because that always happens. We always go left. There's always pause moments. Alex I can't even talk. Alex, especially, pause moments. So imagine us having big fan bases and everyone running around, oh, Alex likes Erica or Erica likes Alex. And what would that do to my marriage? You know what I mean? That would be a huge problem. Or we'd have to, what would probably happen if we were that big, and this would suck, is that you sometimes have to control like the things you say, and you have to, because you don't want to lose sponsors, you don't want to lose your fan base. So you have to really be cautious. You have to be, you know, you got to just watch what you say. And that would probably happen. And that's what I actually kind of like about being a small YouTuber, is we don't have to worry about that. Our fan bases aren't freaking starting a storm on Twitter. We don't have that kind of power. We're too small. But I could imagine that would probably hurt my marriage, because let's say Kenny doesn't care, but then he starts seeing all these tweets. People are tweeting him, making videos. Oh, Kenny, you should care. You should care about this. Like, they would probably be tweeting him like crazy. And then it would get in his head. So it's like, it makes so much sense. It makes sense. What's up, Erica? Finally catching you live, Black Ace. I'm on a roll right now. I felt like talking and talking and talking. Mech says Erica should play Mario Kart with Coupon and Nia. I know, I've been meaning to do that. Like, I feel like, because they play on Mondays, and sometimes Mondays are hard for me. They used to do that a lot, like when I was in school and I had a Monday class, so I never could play. And now it's like, I think they still do it, but Mondays are kind of weird for me. A little weird. But yeah, we need to play, definitely. I would love to play with more girls. You know, just play some games. But this is why I feel really bad for you guys who stream, Erica, because you'll probably get bigger. Yeah, Alex is married too. Exactly, Ryan. I mean, his wife isn't a gamer. She probably wouldn't catch on to the tweets and things like that, but she might be bothered. I mean, there's always, well, maybe she wouldn't. Depends. But yeah, that's always a thing. Like, I could just imagine the drama that could arise. And yeah, that brings up a good point. Spider, you do bring up a good point, because like, what if we do get bigger? You guys ever think about that? Like, that's the dream, right? We want that. We really do. But I wonder how things would change. Like, would it change? Would we start watching our mouths more? Would it, like, I don't want that. I want to get bigger. And I think we have such a good group of people with Press Start. I think we'd be okay. I really do. But as the fan bases get bigger, that's the issue. Because you know how crazy people can be. Like, and I'm not even talking about gossip or like stuff about me, but just in general, like with the podcast, it could get kind of crazy. So I always try and keep that in my mind. Like, okay, if we do grow, I'm just going to do my best to just be myself. I'm going to do my best to just enjoy it, because you could lose it in a heartbeat. Like, that's the crazy thing too with all these big streamers. Most of them, because some people thrive. You got like PewDiePie and people like that. They say the N-word, which that's what's crazy too. It's like, you got these people, and I'm just saying, like, I'm not naming anybody specifically, but there's probably people out there who forgave PewDiePie, but then they're calling Ninja a sexist. That's the world we live in, you guys. That's the internet, and that's how it can be. So Mega says, I wasn't trying to come at you earlier, Erica. I'm sorry. No, don't worry about it. I'm not taking that personally or anything. You have your opinion. It's fine. No biggie. Ombra says, did you see Mundane Matt? Yes, I did. I did see that. That's a whole other topic, but that's another fraud right there. Shout out to that guy. Like, I used to follow him. I used to be subscribed to him for like maybe 2 weeks, but then I realized he's just another, he talks about other people. That's like his content. He's kind of like a review tech, but put his own little twist on it. I wasn't feeling it. I unsubbed from him. So I haven't heard from him in a long time. And then I heard about this situation that he's flagging people. And I saw the pod. Well, it wasn't a podcast. It was like a hangout where they exposed him. They told him, okay, we need to see proof that you didn't flag some specific person. And he couldn't provide it. He couldn't provide it. And he was all trying to apologize. And it was, he got exposed big time. So I don't know what's going to happen with him. I don't follow him or anything. I don't really know a lot about his situation, but it seems like he got exposed pretty bad. And I've seen some people tweeting that, he deserves it and they're happy he's being, taken down or whatever. But I don't know. I haven't been following him. I don't know if he's like, a scumbag or anything like that. Besides this, I don't know. Chris Righteous is like, who? That's Mundane Matt. They brought up in the chat. So I put my, I was just giving my opinion real quick, Chris. If you haven't heard of him, he's a YouTuber. He kind of blew up a little bit, I guess. He's kind of big. And he got exposed because he was flagging a bunch of people who were talking about him, which is ironic because he talks about a lot of people, not in a malicious way for the most part. Like, he'll talk about their situations. Like, if Keemstar or somebody like that is in some sort of drama, Mundane Matt would talk about it. And I guess anybody who's talking about Mundane Matt in his drama, he's flagging them, he's reporting them. So it's very ironic, and he's being a hypocrite, basically. He's being a hypocrite. And that's really the end of it, But it's crazy when you get big like that. Like, it seems like these guys just make mistakes. And I'm not going to lie, like, sometimes I worry about that. Like, not saying I'm going to flag or anything like that. But, like, if we did get so big, that's why I bring up Press Start or even just my own channel. Like, let's say I get bigger, which would be awesome. We all want that. But then with it comes like more responsibility, right? Like, that's like the line. More power, more responsibility. Like, you got to really watch what you do. You might be kidding, you might be trolling or joking around, and I do that a lot. Like, I'm trying to watch myself a little bit. But I think, yeah, the bigger you get, like, you got to watch yourself more. You got to really take into account how people are going to interpret you, because there's all so many sorts of misinterpretations. Even now, sometimes I'll tweet something that's really straightforward and someone has a completely different interpretation, or they think I'm being serious when I'm not. So you'd have to like really watch what you say. You can't hide being a shitty person for long. It will catch up eventually. Chris, yeah, that's true. I like to think of it like that too. It's like, well, I like to think of myself as a good person. I think I am. You know, I do my best to be honest and, you know, considerate and all of that. So I'm hoping that just works out in my favor. You know, I just, no matter how much I grow, like people just can understand me as someone who's genuine. You know, that's what I'm always hoping for, you know. Hardhead says that literally just happened to me. Someone turned my poll into a religious thing. Are you serious? The opinion one? Oh, see, that's the bad thing about Twitter. That's the bad thing is people, they want to fight on Twitter. I think that's what it is, especially about politics. That's why I stay away. At least I try to. And Alex does the same thing. Shout out to Alex. Like I kind of learned from him as well. Like you don't touch politics ever, because you could, I mean, you could literally say, hey, I believe in equal rights. And someone will find something wrong with that and freaking pull a witch hunt on you. Like that's how bad it can be on here. It's like you literally, not to say like we're going to censor ourselves, but if it's not super, how do I put this? How do I put this? If I don't need to say it, I ain't gonna say it, kind of thing. That's how I kind of treat Twitter. Like if I don't need to say this, then I'm not gonna say it, if that makes any sense. Like if I'm super passionate, then I'm gonna say it. And I have retweeted things and, you know, I've talked to people on Twitter like about certain videos, you know, of course, these police brutality and things like that really bothers me, of course. So I've talked to people about things like that. But if I'm just, hey, I feel like I want to be political today. No, Erica, no, just chill. Like you gotta chill sometimes, because people see Rima's like equal rights. Erica is a racist, confirmed. Oh, Hardhead, before I start wrapping up, what specifically did you want me to talk about, like about your tweet? So I can touch on it. Alex just put up a video about Ninja, so you guys want to check that out. I'll probably watch that after this. I'm sure he's going to say common sense, you know, he's going to understand where Ninja's coming from. I'd be shocked if Alex was like, he should play with women. Alex is married. I'm sure he understands. Yeah, Sama, or Sama, I'm not sure how to say your name, but I talked about that too. That's the latest, I think, about Philip. He plagiarized the Fire Emblem preview. We got to put the emphasis on preview. That is just the worst part about it. It's like, dude, how can you not come up with a preview? That's not even a review. That's like me copying a first impressions. It's like, what? Okay, Hardhead says, not, that was it, because some guy said he personally doesn't like No Man's Sky update and wants the old game back. And a friend called his opinion wrong. Oh, okay. I mean, if he wants the old game back, he wants the old game back. That's his, yeah, I mean, that's his opinion. He thinks it was better. There's been many times I've played games where, well, I don't want to say many times, but you know, sometimes you get an update and you feel like it breaks the multiplayer, or you get some kind of DLC that's overpriced or something like that, and it doesn't live up to what you felt about the base game. I've had situations like that. So it's fair to say, oh, I think this would have been better in the base game, or I think the base game is better than the DLC. Like that's just an opinion. That's not something you can factually say, no, you're wrong. It has more content, therefore it's better. Like, no, that's not always true. A game could have all the content in the world, but still not be good. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's all. I mean, that's all I can really say, I guess. Philip plagiarized his own name. He's probably born with a P, Philip, but then he changed it. He's like, you know what? I seen this name Philip spelled with an F. I'm changing my name to Filip. It's crazy. It depends on how each person views it. Yeah, definitely, hardhead. Definitely. The only time you can really say if like an opinion is wrong, if someone is trying to give facts and they're trying to say, nope, this game is good because, well, you know what I mean. Like they're trying to use, I'm trying to use it in a game example, but I guess if they're saying this game is good because it's Metroidvania, but the game isn't Metroidvania or something like that, like you can call them out on that, things like that. But if they're just saying I like the game like this, then that's your opinion. Thank you. That's all I was saying. If you're trying to bring facts into it, then it can be wrong. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. But man, I feel like I talked a lot. I've just been rambling, you guys. We talked about Ninja already. Not much to say. Not much to say on that. Guy's making millions. Millions of dollars. Shoot, if that was me, and I was married to a woman and I was a man, I'd be like, sorry, women. Looking out for my paycheck, looking out for my wife. It is what it is. It's not me being sexist. It's just I don't want to lose my marriage. Period. I mean, if Kenny did that for me, I would have nothing to worry about. Maybe that's the way I could look at it, right? Like if Kenny was a streamer and I wasn't, and he was streaming with women, they start giggling or whatever. I may not think nothing of it, like, whatever. But then you see all like the articles, you see the rumors, you see some rumor that he cheated or something like that, then that's a problem. That would be very hard. And money's not going to help that situation. He could say, I could say to myself, well, he's bringing in the money, but if I'm not trusting him, that's the money don't even matter. So it could definitely cause problems. It's just common sense, I'll probably watch Alex's video on it right now. You guys go check out Alex's video. Press start tomorrow. I won't be there. Hardhead, I don't know if you heard that. Maybe you're taking my place. You're probably going to be there again. This man Hardhead's like a legit member now. But yeah, it's Kenny's birthday tomorrow, so there's a rumor, right? Oh, Erica misses Kenny's birthday to be on the podcast so she could talk to the guys, right? You know what I mean? You gotta put your significant other first. Always. You always gotta do that, you guys. You're especially if you're married. They got BG again. What they get BG for this time? What do you mean? What happened? What happened? They got BG on Twitter. Oh no. What did he do? This man BG keeps getting hold on. He says is right here. Oh, he's suspended. Damn, what did he do? I swear this man BG's always getting suspended. That's like the 4th time or something like that. Oh man. Well, that sucks. That sucks. You guys know BG, he's a friend of mine, so I don't know what he did, but that sucks. I'm sure he'll be back though. Always put your woman first. Exactly, Mech. Unless, if you're in a marriage, this is getting off topic, but if you're in a marriage where she's just straight up, you can't talk to anyone and she's super jealous and all that, that's a problem already. So it doesn't matter what you do. You can talk to the hostess at freaking Chili's and she'll be jealous. There's people out there like that. But the ninja situation, that's different. That's him just being respectful and courteous and not giving his woman a reason to think that he cares about her. And I think that's very admirable. I don't know him. I don't watch him, but I respect that. I think that's a good decision. Knowing BG, they pulled just about any tweet. Yeah, that's true. BG is an example of someone who is bigger than us, right? Hardhead. He's got a bigger channel. He's been doing this a long time. And you can see how toxic it can become. Like people can straight up hate him and do these things to him just for a laugh. So imagine being even bigger. Imagine being like a ninja. Dude, they would come for you in a heartbeat. That's where I'm kind of scared of like ever getting big. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen. It would be awesome, but at the same time, I think I would low-key be kind of scared. I get scared now. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Like sometimes people hit me up on Twitter, like certain guys, and it's not even like a sexual thing or anything, but it's like sometimes I just get the creeps. Sometimes people just give me this vibe like they could, I don't know, man, like they can try and come for me if I rub them the wrong way or something. If I offend them in any way, it's like they just give me that vibe, you know? It happens. It really does. Or I have people who like really pay attention to like everything I say or everything I do. That's happened too. And I've had to cut people off in some ways or like block or mute and all of that because they're just so up my ass. It's like you say anything and they're just on you. I've had people like that. And I'm small. I'm really small out here. So imagine if I was this big streamer. It's like I totally get just avoiding whatever you can, you know? Fords like get Kenny to flex on them. Yeah. It can be kind of nerve-wracking at times. Spider robot side. I know I need to get me my robot to protect me. I need a protector, Spider. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna like go into details. It's not so serious where I've felt scared for my life or anything. I don't want to put that out there. That's not happened yet. I knock on wood. I don't want that. It's more so like just I already explained it. It's like just really paying attention to me. And it's like, I don't need that kind of attention. You know what I mean? I don't. I'm just trying to play games. I'm trying to be on a podcast. I'm trying to just share the passion. You know, that's all I'm trying to do. I ain't trying to do anything else. I mean, for some, it's worse than others, Erica. Just look at your boy who cheated on his wife. Doctor just, yeah, I know. That's another one that like got bigger. It's weird. I guess it depends who you are, how big you are. There's always going to be people that forgive you. Even us, hardhead, like let's say we do something like that. There's going to be a lot of people who demonize you, but then there's going to be a group that forgives you. And when you have such a huge millions and millions of followers, that percentage, maybe it's, I don't know, 30% that forgives you. You're still talking like thousands and thousands of people. And they could start the movement of getting other people to forgive. And then people forget. It's always that thing. People forget about stuff. The thing with like Philip, though, and even maybe Mundane Matt, is I don't know if people are going to forget. And I think they're going to, you know, because they're not that big. They're not as big in terms of like viewers. So that's a discussion within itself. You know, PewDiePie is another one. I mentioned that. It's like, oh, everyone forgot already. Guy says the N-word. And, you know, what happened? Like, you know, everyone forgot. No one cares. You know, and he probably has more subs anyways. It's like even Logan Paul, that guy. I never even heard of the guy. Never even heard of him. All of a sudden, he's the biggest thing everyone's talking about. And people forgave him. So it's like, I don't know. I know some people would make that into like, oh, it's a white man thing, or it's just a male thing, or a money thing. Who knows? It could be a combo. I don't really want to get into that, but I'm sure if Ninja did some of those things, he'd be forgiven too. It's just they're so big, you guys. I mean, look at Philip. People are apologizing for him too. They're apologists. There's always going to be those people. You could do the worst thing and they'll still back you up. Especially racism. That's a whole other, you guys already know. People will forgive you too, Erica. I know, but I have such a small following, like it's only going to be a little bit of people. There's nothing to forgive. I'm good. I'm good, Zero. Nah, you guys, but I guess we could end it. Let me get out of here. We got 45 viewers right now. You guys have a amazing day. What's today? Wednesday? I don't know what I'm gonna do today. I might hit the pool. I don't know. Yeah, Erica, don't dig too much into it. I know. You right. No. End the podcast. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end. What the hell? Oh, okay. You guys have a good day. Let me know what you think about all this. If you're watching this later and you went through all the topics, let me know what you think about Philip, about Mundane Matt, about Ninja. We talked about a lot of people here. But if you talk about me, I'm gonna flag you guys, all right? Let me talk about everyone. But if you talk about me, I'm coming for you, all right? I'm coming for you. I'm gonna start flagging, I'm gonna start snitching, all that stuff. Nah. All we could do is just be ourselves. If we get bigger, Hardhead, Kofi, all of us, just be ourselves. Be honest, be humble, and stay hungry. That's my 3 H's, right? Hungry, humble, and honest. That's my ending thought. What's the thing that they say on what's that show called? Where he gives like, the final thought. Yeah, that's my final thought of the day. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time. See you guys later. Bye.